Hello. Today I'm going to try and paint this painting while I've got the camera running and try to do it all live. So let me tell you exactly what I've done so far. I've got my 16 by 20 stretch canvas and I've coated it with black gesso. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat it with a medium, to lightly coat it with a medium to get it wet. And then I'll add some color to it that's transparent in the background. So let me go ahead and start doing that right now. The medium I'm using is a water-soluble oil paint medium, and it's I've actually just started using it, and I actually prefer it over to regular paint mediums because it's just so much easier to clean up. It doesn't make a smelly mess, and it's a lot better, I think, for the environment. Who knows yet? So I imagine somebody will come up with a reason why it's not good for the environment. So, bigger brush. I'll add some more medium. This one's sucking up the medium really quickly. Last painting I did didn't take this much medium. Okay, so that should be it. Nice coat of medium on there right now. And the colors I'm going to be using for the background colors are it's like a alizarin crimson color. The paint manufacturer I'm using doesn't make an alizarin crimson, so this is more of a crimson color. I'm using a phthalo blue and a semi-transparent yellow. So what I'm going to do first is just going to take this yellow and just smear it all around in this area right here. Now, to help with the transparency, I'll add a little bit more medium to it. I could add water to it to help with the transparency, but that also dulls it out a bit. So, and then from there, after I get that nice big yellow patch there, I will wash my brush, and I'm washing the brush in just plain water, and then I beat it over a rack and help it to dry a bit. Okay, so then I'll just wipe it off with a paper towel. So next I'm going to do blue, and I'm going to take the blue up into the phthalo blue up into this area right here. I'm just putting a very generous amount on there because I want this whole area to be coated in the phthalo blue. Now, if you want to help it along a bit, we'll just go ahead and go into the big paintbrush I have here. And just go ahead and speed it up by just coating the whole thing in phthalo blue. Now, without cleaning the brush, I'm going to go directly into the crimson color. I'm going to do the crimson color over here on this side. Now, you probably can't see it on the camera at all, but there is color on the canvas. Get rid of any brush strokes, and then I'll wash the big brush. You don't need to see my backside on camera. Alright. Alrighty, so the base colors are put down on the canvas now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's try the round brush. I've brand new brush, never used it, so let's go ahead and try that. So I'm going to go use a little bit of titanium white, and let's see here. I'm going to start in the center here and just add the titanium white to the yellow. I might add a little bit more yellow to that. Try to build that out. Let's go a little bit more white. Oh yeah, there, that's better. Okay, so I've got that titanium white there, and I'm going to try and pound out that brush again. Actually, let's go ahead. I'm just going to use the tip of the 2-inch brush. I'm just going to lightly blend that out. You know, there's a better brush for this. I'm going to go ahead and get that brush, because I have a blender brush for that. Go ahead and blend that out. And you can blend this out as much as you want. If you get a little bit of hairs in there, go ahead and pop those out with a knife. Okay, from here, I'm going to go back to the white brush, but I'm going to clean it a little bit with a round brush. I'm going to clean that off a little bit. And I'm going to go back into the white, and let's make some big decisions here. Let's do this. Some more white. And just follow it right out of that yellow part. And let's go ahead and go back to the blender brush. I'm going to try and blend these right out. The goal is to try and get the red, the red color, to blend back in, or to become more visible with these white marks here. These white lines. Now you can continue to blend this as much as you want, and you can actually just blend it right back into the background, and it won't even be like it'll be like it wasn't even there. Okay, so let's go ahead and see about adding some more lines in here. We're going to go ahead and wipe off the brush because it's starting to get loaded with that alizarin color, and I want just as close to pure white as I can get. Let's go this way. And we'll go ahead and blend those out again. I'm going to take the white again after it dips into the yellow. I'm going to go and clean that brush. Matter of fact, I'm going to go and clean both the brushes real quick. Dry. I'm going to get a smaller blender brush for the remainder. And I'm going to grab the number 4 fan brush. And I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow, but this time I'm just going to go ahead and bring it off of here. And see how it picks up that blue color? I keep that fan brush. You got to keep that fan brush jumping. It helps to wipe it off a bit. Load it up with some more paint. That blue color is very, very strong, so I'm probably going to end up having to blend it out a bit. Okay, go ahead and I will grab that large blender brush. Yeah, I'll grab that large blender brush. Go ahead and grab the large blender brush again. Actually, no, I'm going to go with the smaller blender brush, even though it's not hard for me to say that. I'm going to start at the base where the lighter color is and start blending it outwards. Keeping the brush moving all the time. I'm trying to just blend it out. I want to keep some of these lighter white areas. I'm trying to blend out the base a little. So this area here I want to try and keep. Same with down here as well. And just continue working. You'll get to where you want it, or you know, we're not playing by any rules here because we're just making this up as we go along. So if you're trying to paint like this and you want to change something, make it a little different, then you go right ahead. It's your painting, it's your universe. So we're going to go back into the white and yellow again. I'm going to just add a little bit more here. And we're going to blend that out. Now if you want to add some more yellow, so that blue is very, 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 very powerful. So you gotta watch it with that blue because it can take over the lighter colors in your painting very easily. I'm going to use a little bit of red, mix it in there. Not too much because it's a little powerful too. Just a little bit, and I'm going to blend that in. I want very soft edges. Almost to where you can't tell where one color begins and another color ends. And it does help to step back and take a look and see how it's all turning out. So let's go ahead and clean that fan brush. We're going to go with the a liner brush, and I'm going to thin out that that white paint. I want it very, very thin, almost like ink. We're going to go ahead and start trying to find a little bit more of these areas here. And the trick is that this has actually turned out to be very tricky, is trying to not pull too much of this blue in there. It's turning out to be a lot more powerful than I thought it was going to be. You know what? I think I'll switch back to the larger round brush for this. Or better yet, a better choice is going to be the fan brush. We'll just load that up with paint. Go ahead and tap out some of these areas. Remember, I can blend all this stuff back out if it is too strong. But I'm trying to take it very lightly because I don't want to put too much out. I'm just tapping downward with the brush. Gotta keep in mind that that blue is very, very powerful. It's so powerful it's turning my white bristle brushes blue. And it does like there's a little bit of blue left in the brush too. Try and wipe as much of that out as I can. Okay, so let's go back over with the white again, and we're going to use the fan brush again, and we're going to try and do the same thing over here. Try and add some little bit more that we can blend out later. Just keep in mind that these are just free-flowing, I guess you call them clouds. You want them just to move and jump around everywhere. And the trick is to keep the brushes as clean as you possibly can here. Okay, so let's go back to the blender brush. Just gonna slowly blend these out. We don't want to kill all of the white, but just tone it back enough. I want to leave some of it out there. Once again, take a step back, see how it looks, And in this light, it's kind of hard to tell because I've got this light that's putting a nice glow on it for me. Let's see that little hair. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more yellow. Just take it straight in the blender brush here. The yellow is turning out to be very, very, very transparent. Let's just bring it out here a little bit, get a little bit of the blue and the yellow and the red mixing together, make a nice little greenish, reddish, orangish color. Once again, I can blend this out to anything I want it to blend out to. Okay, so let's go back to that liner brush and try and do some more finer details here. So we're just going to add in all these little finer, little like streaks and everything coming out of these whiter areas. Just to see how it looks. Anything I don't like, I can blend out later. It's the amazing thing about working with oil paints. You can literally move the paint around on the canvas while you're painting with it. Just doing light strokes, barely even touching the canvas with the brush. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with the blender brush, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use this, it is the smallest blender brush I have. Let's try and clean it up a bit. Just going to try and pull that right out. Once again, I'm just lightly touching the canvas. And I'm wiping the excess paint off of the brush every time. Let's go back up here. Lightly dust over this section. Let's go back in with some more white here on that on the red side. This was red, really, it was, when I first started. I guess some of the blue must have leached over. That's okay. I'm just going to slowly work at the bringing the white out on the purple side. Remember, you got to keep that paint very thin in order to keep it or get it to stick. Got to keep telling myself that these aren't supposed to be straight lines. They're supposed to zig and zag all over the place. But you can make them go anywhere you want to. Well, time for the cursory step back. And still don't like the lighting in here, but I gotta deal with what I gotta deal with for now. Let's just go ahead and try and blend some of this out a bit. Try and put a little bit more yellow. I wanted this to be more yellowish, almost like glowing like the sun. Let's go ahead and add a lot more paint to this. Use the fan brush, yellow, and some titanium white. Lock this in. That's a lot more what I was looking for. I'm going to try and blend it out on the ends though. Lightly dusting. Once again, I just don't want fine lines at the end. Just want lightly. There you go. That's a lot better. Okay. Well, I think what I'll do next, and I just used up most of my white paint. I'm going to get some brand new white paint out here, because I used up most of it. And let's do something really stupid here. Put on our man pants and do something stupid. So I gotta make sure that my fan brush is really clean. I used more paintbrushes on this painting than I originally thought I was going to use. I thought maybe I was going to use maybe 2 or 3 paintbrushes. Didn't plan that one well out, did I? Okay. Let's try to get as much of this blue paint out of this paintbrush. So one thing I'm going to try and do here, I'm going to use up this medium that I have, because I want this white paint to be very, very thin. So I'm going to take the titanium white with the last of the medium, I'm going to load that fan brush up with paint. And I might have to add a little bit more medium to it. I got a little can here that I've got medium poured it out into. And let's just go ahead and give it a shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fan brush, and I've got a knife, and I'm just going to go like this. Take the fan brush across the knife like that, and we'll see what happens. And I don't know if you can see the effect that it's doing on the canvas, but it's throwing random amounts of paint, white paint, onto the canvas. One of the things that I am learning about doing this method is the amount of medium to put in. If you put too much medium, the white paint will start running on the canvas. If you put too little, it won't fling off the brush right. And it looks about good there. So I'm going to put this aside for right now. Clean off this knife. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have. Let's go ahead and turn some of these into, make them look a little closer. This one up here. Now if I see some that where the paint didn't like settle in right, like right here, I can just go ahead and blend that out where it's like a glob of paint. That was from it being too thick. I'm going to go ahead and blend that out. And then here's another one over here. It's got a little more stars around it. This one right here, I'll try just blend out these right here. Or you probably can't see them, but they're little, they're just paint lines. So I'm just going to try and blend them out. It'll give like an effect of a star in the background showing through the gas. Let's go ahead and blend that out a little bit more. And since I did that, let's go ahead and add a couple more little stars in there, just at random. And we'll go ahead and clean that brush since it's got the blue in it. And we'll blend out this. And yeah, go ahead and blend that out a little bit more. And I think I'm going to call this painting done. So thanks for watching. And if you like these videos and you want to see more like this, go go ahead and give a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and remember to subscribe.